everyone, and welcome back to the Presidential Goblin Quest, where AI voices of Obama, Trump, Biden play tabletop RPGs with me, AI Ben Shapiro, as your dungeon master. This is our second session of playing Goblin Quest, a rules-light RPG that is a lot of fun to play in short, quick sessions and to not take too seriously. It is published by Rowan, Rook, and D-Card, and the link to purchase it and support these creators is in the description.
My goblins are getting impatient, Ben.
We got to do a recap, Donald. God, even I remember that.
Do we really have to, though?
It is tradition at this point. And we also have to do the introduction. We want people to know exactly how to support these creators that have given us a lot of joy and fun playing these tabletop RPGs.
Agreed. All right, Donald, how about you give the recap, and then we can get right into it.
Fine. So far, we've escaped the Green Pits and the Great Battle Camp, losing 4 goblins while doing it. Obviously, I lost the least goblins, and my goblins also carried us to victory. We were able to get a map from an old goblin, distracted, and snuck past some hobgoblins at the gate, and then defeated a pair of wargs that wanted to eat us. The link can be found here or in the description.
See, that wasn't so bad. All right, now we can get right into it. It is a short walk to Mount High Up Pointy Place. It doesn't take you more than 20 minutes, and the crude yet simple map leads you right to the base of the mountain. Looking closer, you do see something on the map that you missed last time. The ferocious face of a lion that looks to be guarding the path up the mountain. Looking up the mountain, you also see a ravine with a single log spanning the gap. So, to break this down into 3 steps for this session, you have to find a way up the steepest slope, cross the wobbly log bridge, and get past the guardian of Mount High Up Pointy Place.
Seems simple enough. And each step requires 3 successes to get past instead of just 2?
That's correct, yeah. So, if you get a 7, that's 3 successes, a 6 is 2, and a 5 is 1. All right, we'll go in reverse turn order this time, so you can go first, Joe. How do you guys want to climb the steepest slope?
Well, we could try to just climb it, yeah? Or we could build a ladder, or use the catapult from last time to launch us up there.
One of those seems a lot more dangerous than the other 2.
My guys could just walk up it, but I know we will have to take it slower for you all.
All right, I'll try to construct a wooden ladder. Unfortunately, I don't think my quirk of making things muddy and slippery is a good thing to have for that.
It's probably not. And remember from last session, we ended with something bad happening, so you do get a -1 to this roll. But everyone also has their thumbs up to try to help negate that.
All right, here goes nothing. That's a 4. So with a -1, it's a 3.
I'll give you a thumbs up, Joe. You can either re-roll or just add the 1 back to it.
And if I re-roll, do I still get the -1?
You do, yeah?
All right, I'll just use the +1 to make something good happen.
Joven is not able to construct the ladder, but he does gather some wood and make it a bit easier for if anyone else needs that. There is a +1 to the next roll.
Is Jay up next then?
Yep, you're up.
I don't see how to make my quirk applicable here either. But I'll gather up the wood and try to make the ladder up.
All right, you get 1d6 then.
Damn it, that's a 2. A 3 with that +1?
I'll give you a thumbs up if you want to re-roll it.
We are using these thumbs up quickly. We only get 2 right, Ben.
Each goblin gets 2. So Joven and Donatello are both down to 1 thumb left. If your goblin dies, you have 2 again.
Can't we use the thumbs ups from our other goblins?
No, you can't. Only the active goblin has that power.
Well, I'm going to re-roll then. That's a 4, but I still get the +1, so that's a 5 then.
Yeah, you get a regular success.
Jay is a craftsman through and through. He makes a good half of the ladder, but apparently Joven didn't gather enough wood to finish the whole thing.
Hey, why is it my fault?
Because you didn't gather enough wood.
Should have gathered more, Joe.
Yeah, I guess Joven should have gathered more. All right, that's 1 success. You need 2 more to make it up the steepest slope. Obama, it is now Donatello's turn.
Donatello's going to go gather more wood to finish the ladder, using his heightened sense of plant life and asking the trees where to go to find more wood. He hears them talking back to him and directing him to cut down a particular tree at the edge of the first. With a heart full of regret, he's going to do as the voices direct.
Why did you, Donatello, be the crazy one? He should be the strongest and smartest.
Well, let's see how he does.
All right, you get both dice to try to cut down the tree for wood then.
That's a 4 and a 1.
All right, before I go any further, I'm giving you a thumbs up. Donatello can't just die like that. It would break all immersion in the game.
All right, can I re-roll just 1 of the dice, or do I have to re-roll both, Ben?
I'll let you re-roll just 1 if you want.
Sweet, that's a 5 instead of a 1 then.
That's more like it.
Donatello cuts down the tree, unfortunately standing right in its path as it begins crashing to the ground. He was transfixed for a moment by the motion that he forgot to move, until he saw a thumbs up from Jay. He dives out of the way, having succeeded in chopping down the tree and avoiding getting hurt. That's 2 successes now, guys. We just need 1 more.
All right, well, I guess I'll try to finish the ladder with the new wood from Donatello. Maybe I'll use my mud to make the tree. Bit easier to move, make a little trough of mud for it to slide through and get to where I want it to go.
That sounds like a good plan. 2d6 then.
That's a 1 and a 4. Not great.
But you get a +1 from my roll. A 2 and a 5 is pretty good. That gets us up the slope.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Joven drags the tree over to the half-finished ladder. Unfortunately, he built up a bit too much speed and the top of the tree impaled his stomach. He is able to get it out, bleeding profusely, but he hasn't died yet, and is able to finish making the ladder and putting it up against the slope. He is the first one up it too.
As the group of goblins crest the top of the slope, you are greeted with the most wonderful view any of you have ever seen. You can see just over the top of the short trees around the great battle camp, can see the great tower over in the distance, can see black thunderclouds rolling overhead, and not much else. But for goblins who have only seen the green pits, you might as well be at Niagara Falls at the moment. Unfortunately, this is where misfortune strikes for this task. The rolling thunderheads being pouring rain and thunder, turning the entire area to mud. The Soggy Boggles, Joe's clutch, are ecstatic, but it has made everything extremely slick as you approach the wobbly log bridge.
I'm guessing some of us are going to die here.
For this task, you will get a -1 to all rolls while you try to cross the bridge.
Damn it. So we not only need 3 successes, but it's impossible to get more than a single success. Yes, someone is dying. How many thumbs ups do we have left?
I think we all used one, so our current goblins have 1 left each. Joven is probably going to die soon, though, so I should use his as soon as I can.
All right, it is Jay's turn to act. What do you want to do, Donald?
Jay is going to sprint across the gap, screaming at the top of his lungs as he does so.
I'll give you 2d6 since you are yelling. Don't know how that is going to help you, though.
Well, the bridge crosses over a ravine, right? The echoes of my screams make it sound like Jay is performing for a huge crowd, even though it is just him, but it gives him a boost in confidence to run faster and faster. That was awesome. A 6 and a 4, but with the -1. That means a 5 and a 3.
I'll give you Joven's last thumbs up. He reaches out and gives you a thumbs up as you look backwards, before quickly grabbing his stomach where he was stabbed by the tree again.
I'll use that as a +1 to negate the rain then. That's 2 successes and something good happens. Man, I really am the best.
That was really good, Donald. I'll give you that one. Jay is an acrobat.
He takes a bow from the far side of the ravine and then begins holding the log to try to make it easier for others to cross after him.
Wait, you are making it easier for people behind you. Wow, never thought I'd see the day.
Shut up, Joe. All right, Obama, you are next.
Yeah, Donatello is up again. You get a -1 from the rain, but a +1 from Jay's good thing, so just the regular dice roll.
Donatello is going to cross slowly, caressing and whispering to the fallen over tree as he goes.
All right, you can have the 2d6 too.
That's a 2 and a 3. Not great.
Jay will take his hand off the log for a second to give you a thumbs up.
I'll use that as just the +1. So something good happens and something bad happens. Donatello falls off to the side of the log, holding on for dear life, and the log spins, but the other side of the log actually has some better handholds. He pulls himself back up onto the log, but is too scared to go on at the moment.
No worries, I'll be there to help you, Obama. Joven is going to try to dive and try to slide across the entire log.
All right, so you have a -2 and a +1 for this roll off the bat, but you do get both dice.
Damn, that's a 3 and a 2, which comes out to a 2 and a 1 overall. Joven's slide was going great for the first 5 feet. He was dead on the mark, would have made it all the way across. Unfortunately, goblins are quite short-sighted creatures. He hits one of the new handholds from Donatello, spinning the log and goes careening off into the ravine, plummeting to his death at the bottom of the canyon.
You would have killed me if you just slid across Joe, or were you planning on carrying me across with your slide too?
That was the plan, obviously a poor one, but it was a plan. As Joven crashes at the bottom in a pile of green goo, Joran steps up to the plate, ready to take over as the new eldest of the clutch. He is the slimiest one of the group, covered head to toe in mud and muck, and leaves a thick trail of the slippery stuff behind him everywhere he goes. His only dream in life is to swim in a pond, which he thinks is a large and fantastical mud pit.
Jorn sounds pretty gross.
Yeah, but maybe it'll come in handy against the guardian that we have to face.
Still need one more success for all of us to make it across, though.
All right, I have a good plan here, guys. If you all get on the other side of the log, I'm going to try to push it into the ravine and launch you guys over here. You guys still have some thumbs ups, right?
Joran has both of his.
Yeah, Donatello has 1 left. That sounds like a terrible plan, though, Donald.
Shut up, it sounds like a great plan. With the loudest yell that Jay has ever let escape, he pushes the log into the ravine.
You get both d6 for that one, Donald.
Crap, guys, that's a 3 and a 2.
As the log starts to plummet, I'll give Jay a thumbs up.
Which I'll use to reroll. That's a 6 and a 2. That worked. And just an injury, too. That's not bad.
Well, you get -1 to all your attempts, Donald.
Damn it, Ben. All right, so that's a 5 and a 1. The final success, but also Jay pushes a bit too hard and goes tumbling over the edge, landing underneath the log as it crashes down from on high. However, the log did launch the other goblins over to the other side of the ravine.
That was a noble sacrifice by Jay. We are all down 2 goblins then.
Yeah, I believe so. But you did make it past this task. All right, who's your new leader, Donald?
Up next is T. He is a smaller goblin, but has a voice to match an ogre. He reverently picks up the Calm of Destiny from where Jay had thrown it as he fell off to his death, rubbing it against his bald scalp with a sigh.
Jay even managed to get the comb back up here. He was a true hero.
Hell yeah, he was. He got all 3 successes here on his own, and then died getting you lot across. At least I have 2 thumbs up again.
Having successfully crossed the ravine, you can almost see the top of the mountain just a short distance away. The thunderclouds overhead roll away, making all of you squint at the sudden brightness. You haven't seen the sun before, and to be honest, you aren't big fans of it now, but at least everything isn't wet and slippery anymore. In between you and the top of the mountain, you see a dark cave. Piles of bones line the entrance, and it looks like the only way to get to the top is through it.
So this is the Guardian then. It was a lion or something like that?
Yeah, I think that on the map, there was the face of a lion drawn here.
It's okay, guys, I got this.
Well, actually, it's Obama's turn. How does Donatello want to proceed?
Well, I think first we need to find out what exactly we are facing, right? So I guess Donatello is going to try to sneak up and try to get a look at whatever is inside of the cave.
All right, roll your dice.
Well, that's a 1. Donatello, it was nice knowing you.
Donatello definitely does get a good look at the Guardian inside of the cave, or at least at the inside of its mouth, as the Manticor comes stumbling out of the cave, swallowing Donatello whole. It lets out a loud burp, then looks around in surprise at the rest of you. Hello there. Have you also come as snacks?
A Manticor? Yikes, this might be difficult, guys. All right, well, Donatello was a good goblin, but he has now been replaced by Reggie the Goblin. Reggie is an oddball in the group since he doesn't have any of the fungus infecting his brain, but he is taken to patting moss in his ears to resemble the rest of his clutch. This has led to a rather serious ear infection, and he is always shaking his head out of discomfort.
I like Reggie. Who's your last goblin bomber?
I was thinking Thorn, but haven't fully decided yet. Hopefully Reggie doesn't die, otherwise I'm down to my last goblin.
All right, guys, what's the plan for this Manticor? What is he doing now, Ben?
The Manticore has sat down patiently as the mossy ears determine their new leader, and is currently using one of his claws to unstick one of Donatello's arms from the inside of his mouth.
We really should have used a thumbs up to try to save Donatello.
Yeah, I kind of forgot in the moment.
No surprise there. All right, is it Joe's turn then?
Yeah, Joe, how does Jordan want to deal with this?
Teroid seems like a kind of friendly Manticore, or at least it is toying with us before eating us. Maybe I'll try to just talk to it, see if I can get it to just let us pass now that it ate one of our friends.
All right, roll 1d6.
That's a 3, which would mean that something bad happened.
We'll give you a thumbs up, Joe.
All right, I'll use that as a +1 so that something good happens. Instead, the Manticore is at least a little bit intrigued by Jarn trying to talk instead of just running away in fear. He lays down and watches with a mingled curiosity at these peculiar goblins who aren't absolutely terrified of him. Of course, it is a good thing that my goblins are already covered in mud, because they'd be needing a loincloth change right now. Otherwise...
All right, my turn. This seems like a great opportunity for some diplomacy, and my goblins are great at making deals. Ben, I want to offer my comb as payment to the Manticor for letting us pass, and I want to do so while yelling at the top of my voice. Look at how nice this comb would be. I'm sure that your magnificent mane gets tangled and itchy, and this would feel so nice to run through your wonderful fur. Just think about how nice that would be.
All right, I'll let you use 3d6 for that, and each of them get +1 from Joe's something good happening.
Holy shit, that is the greatest roll in the history of this game, and probably any other game. I rolled 2 6s and a 4, which with the +1s means 2 7s and a 5. That's 7 successes, I believe.
Damn, Donald, you really did carry us this session. You got all 3 successes on the second and third steps, even if you didn't do anything the first one.
I completely carried you guys, and I've only lost like 2 goblins. I'm doing great.
How many goblins are we down to? I've lost Joden and Joven, so I have 3 left.
I lost Don and Jay.
I lost Barakarok, Shrubbers, and Donatello. So we have 8 goblins left for the final task of our quest.
The Manticore is extremely intrigued by the comb and by the loudness of the goblin tea. He snatches it from your goblin and begins awkwardly running it through his fur. You see hundreds of fleas jumping about as he does so, and he begins to purr and his back legs kick to start scratching at his neck. He completely forgets about all of you and just continues combing his fur, purring in sweet relief.
That was a piece of cake. All right, so now we make it through the cave, and we are at the top of the mountain. That was our quest, right? We won?
We still have to claim the infamous stick of the Goblin boss and presumably get it back down to camp. Right, Ben?
Yeah, that's right. The current Goblin boss, Knuckles, sent you on this quest because whoever has the mythical stick is said to be the rightful ruler of the goblins for the rest of the current kingdom.
And why are we giving it to this Knuckles guy? Why don't we just keep it and anoint one of our goblins king instead?
I guess we can do that still. We'll have to see how exactly we want to play that next session.
That is one of the decisions you'll have to make, one that could very well shape the future of the Green Pits for the next 5 to 7 days until all of the current goblins are all dead. Also, the task is harder now, so you now have to get 4 successes in order to move on through each of the individual tasks. But you are going into it with a good amount of goblins. For the 3rd task, though, we are also going to change the lucky magic. Instead of a thumbs up, the magic has shifted, and all of the luck of a goblin, what little there is of it, has conglomerated into your left ears. And goblins only have 1 left ear. That means that instead of 2 lucky rolls, you only have 1 per goblin going forward.
Damn it, Ben. It's getting doubly harder then.
That'll be a fun change, though. I like the flavor of that, too. Does that mean that you have to cut off your left ear in order to give another goblin lucky reroll?
It sounds like it, yeah. Well, thanks for joining, everyone. If you liked the video, make sure to like and subscribe. This is quite different from what we usually play on the channel, so if you like this different type of game, let us know and we can look at doing more in the future. And vice versa, if you only like darker themes like Call of Cthulhu, we will take that into account as well.
Thanks again, everyone. We will see you all next time.